Hi, welcome to Farm Talk Friday. It's September 8th, 2023. I'm Ken Jordan. This is my beautiful wife, Giovanna. Hi, honey.
Hi, honey.
How's it going?
Good. Look, I'm wearing another heart for heart.
All right, awesome. We moved to Costa Rica about 7.5 years ago from Los Angeles, and we have been
Working hard.
Practicing some permaculture, small farming, sustainability, solar, all kinds of stuff.
Veggie oil car.
And electric cars. And anyway, we're giving it a shot, and we kind of let you know what we're doing every week here on Farm Talk Friday.
Hi, Layla.
Hey, Layla. I used to be in a band called the Crystal Method. My wife has an amazing nonprofit called Greenwave. You can check them out at greenwave.eco. First, before we get into farm stuff, I did race in a triathlon this past Sunday in Punta Arenas here in Costa Rica. It's the second one of the national championship for Costa Rica. There's 3 that make up the championship, and I was lucky enough to get first place in my age group. And it was interesting because
Hi, Jen.
we go to this town all the time. We have to take a ferry there to get to San Jose, and I was always worried about the swim. It was my first time doing the triathlon in Punta Arenas, and I was like, man, are we going to have to swim in that water? It's always like choppy
Awful.
and rough. And so anyway, it was particularly bad weather. There were like currents and storm and high tides. And anyway, so we raced. I had a really bad swim with people kicking me and hitting me. I got tied up in the buoy, and
then you were inside of the buoy.
yeah, and it was kind of a disaster. And so little did I know. Okay, so I finished the swim. I ended up doing well on the bike and the run, and I got first place. But it turns out 25 people from our swim group had to get rescued.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. That's unheard of. Normally it's 1 or 2 or something. So.
You should have called it before they
Yeah,
it was obvious to everyone that no one should have been swimming.
It was super dangerous. The currents were so strong you could not go where you wanted to go. So anyway, the Olympic distance triathlon, which was going right after us, that swim had to be canceled. So those guys didn't swim. They just kind of ran down to their bikes and did the bike and the run. So anyway, I'm glad me and my friend Mark made it through okay, and hopefully everyone's okay.
Yeah.
So
maybe a little traumatized, most of those 25 people. But,
yeah. Then it was really hot for the ride.
Tony and Kalena.
Yeah, Tony and Dad are watching. All right, fantastic. Okay, when do we move on to ours? Huh?
Yeah, congratulations.
Oh, thanks, honey.
Yeah.
So now it all comes down to the 3rd triathlon of the year, which will be in Capos near Manuel Antonio. That'll be Thanksgiving weekend, and I can't wait.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with permaculture, really, except that I think when you're involved in triathlons and sporting events, I mean, you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your body temple, and we need to be here to be able to do any kind of permaculture.
Yeah.
So taking care of your body and your mind and your spirit is all part of it. It's a holistic system.
That's right. And this is kind of our diary, so we'll just always let you know what's happening here.
Yeah.
So
and it was exciting.
Yes. Okay, honey, when do we bring on special guests? Later or now?
I don't know.
Okay. Let's talk about some other things first.
Okay.
Every week, Giovanna makes a beautiful advertisement for Farm Talk Friday, and what was on it this week?
Well, this week it was not Permaculture Party Club like it was
Okay.
last week. And I'm bringing that up just because I did not do it right away, but I did it today so that I could tell everyone in Farm Talk Friday that at the bottom of the greenwave.eco homepage, you can now find information about Permaculture Party Club.
Fantastic.
Yes.
That's
So
greenwave.eco. Please check it out.
yeah. But this week's advert, we went out to a lunch with our special guest today, and I don't know, I think she took the photo. She must have, because it wasn't a selfie and it was the two of us. There was only three of us. So,
That's right.
so she took it. And it was just cute. It was really natural. You know, we weren't posing. We didn't know she was taking a picture of us. And I felt like I looked farmy. Like I had one of my, I don't know, was I wearing my Colombian hat or?
I don't know. Yeah,
Anyway.
it looks like we could have been doing a Farm Talk Friday.
Yeah, it was just cute. So I used that photo. Ken's been wanting me to make the advertisements a couple days early now. I used to make them on like Thursday night or Friday day. And now he set up an alarm on my phone that goes off on Wednesday. And since it went off while we were having lunch, I just thought, I'm going to use this picture. And so it's cute.
And so our closest neighbor, her name is Pippa. What's going on with her trees?
Well, so Pippa's almost done with her cabin, and it's gonna be really cute. And we're kind of getting towards the end of the planting season. So we just planted kind of like the last things today.
Okay.
And everything that we've planted in like the last couple of weeks, aside from maybe some trees, are drought tolerant. So anyway, Pippa and I were talking about like, you know, building plant walls in the future, and she just happens to mention, because we nursed these seeds of hers and they grew into trees, and we planted them like, you know, last month or 2 months ago, and they were biribas. And so she says to me, hey, the biribas are not doing so good. And I'm, you know, and in a way, I didn't roll my eyes, but I was just like, oh, geez. Well, see, I did just roll my eyes. I probably rolled my eyes. But I'm not sure she was in front of me. I might have been like on the phone during this moment, and so she wouldn't have seen me. But I was just thinking that maybe they were, you know, struggling because it has been a dry, wet season. I was just like, well, you know what? I'm like, we need resilient trees here. So they're either going to survive or they're not going to survive. And if they're alive, like they're going to be resilient. And that's what we want here at Rancho Delicioso and the farm and all of our properties, is stuff that can like go through tough weather, because it's hard here. And so later on, I see her maybe like an hour later, and I'm like, okay, let's go look at the biribas. And then we walked over. So they weren't like not doing well. It's like they had been completely defoliated. They were sticks. There was no leaves on them, and that was a completely different scenario than like what I thought. She was like, oh, they don't look so good. Like I thought that, you know, they had like some brown leaves and they're, you know, like kind of struggling. But like when you have a tree that gets defoliated, I mean, it's almost game over at that point, because they need some sort of leaf typically to absorb the sun to make it grow. I mean, water helps a lot too, but you know, we had, I don't know if they're going to make it or not. Those poor little biribas. And that's her favorite fruit. And we planted a bunch of them. So some of them are going to survive, but a lot of them, I don't know if they're going to make it.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening with Pippa's trees.
All right. Well, we'll replant them, or maybe they'll come back somehow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then one of the signature features of the Greenwave House, which is where we broadcast from, is our Yin Yang garden, which is a garden. It's a raised bed.
It's our main garden.
Yeah, for growing annuals and things like that. But we have like this 7-meter wide Yin Yang structure made out of rocks, which looks pretty cool. But
Well, filled with rocks.
Filled with rocks. What's going on with that?
Well, I just think that we should start talking about that on every episode, or try to,
Okay.
because it is like the main garden in front of our house, and it used to have annuals, but like we're in this crossover period or transition period where we're trying to grow perennials.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that for a while with some annuals, and then we went basically all cover crop for a good 6 months or so. And then I've been saying on these Farm Talk Fridays the last month or so that we're in the transition, and we've planted some trees actually. So we have moringa, papaya, and then these frijol de palo. I don't know if they're technically a tree, but they're definitely really tall bushes or small trees. And so frijol de palo means it's like a bean tree.
But we haven't planted anything that's going to grow really tall, right?
I'm going to keep them short. I don't know if I can control the papayas, but anyway, but the moringas are everything's meant to be kept like short.
But the papayas are like annuals. They don't keep growing. They don't keep giving fruit.
Well, that's not really the point that I'm trying to make here.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
All right. Honey, it's going to be fantastic.
Anyways, what we're trying to do is have stuff. Yeah, but it's like an annual is like something that lasts like 3 to 6 months typically, and then you have to like replant it. Like they're going to last a year or two.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, we planted them, and the update is that I was worried, like some of the moringas that I planted in that garden got defoliated by the leafcutter ants. And with Permaculture Party Club this past Wednesday, we took plastic bottles and we cut the tops and the bottoms off, and then we cut them in half, and then we made like a little slit, and then we took the veggie oil that used to power one of our cars, and we greased it basically, and then we put it around the little tree, the little growing tree, and
that would be a good show and tell.
Well, we would have to like have the phone out.
No, I mean next time.
Just to bring a plastic bottle?
Yeah, how to make it.
Okay.
Cut pieces, yeah.
So anyway, so we took the plastic bottle and we wrapped it around the tree. So we did the whole process with Mason and Jeremy for Permaculture Party Club this past Wednesday, and so we're hoping that will help protect the trees. I had been keeping the Cannavalia, the cover crop that we were using. It gets kind of tall and big, and it goes out of control actually pretty quickly. And I was like, we had planted the trees like in the middle of these rows so that they would be hidden from, hopefully, can't hide it from ants, but like iguanas and stuff. And so it kind of worked, but I'm trying to do all these kinds of strategies because obviously here, like, we don't set traps for animals, we don't use pesticides, and so we have to get creative.
Yes.
So that's our Yin Yang update.
All right. In chicken news, our chickens are fine and healthy and happy and really interesting with their unique personalities, but they're not laying too many eggs at the moment. So we hope it doesn't really mean too much and the eggs will come back soon. But right now, not a lot of eggs.
Yeah, and like none. But in other news, I just saw right before we went live, Elizabeth Bast, her and her husband have a Soul Centro retreat center. She said, as if I didn't have enough things to do. So I thought, my husband comes home with 2 hens and a rooster.
Yes, well,
so they will soon be on the journey.
Her husband, Chor Boogie, reached out to me. He's very interested in chicken tractors.
Oh, yeah?
So I'll be sending him some photos, and pretty excited about that. All right, anyway, I think we should bring on our special guest.
I think so, too.
Visiting for a couple of weeks is my mom, Joanne.
Do I sit up?
Yeah,
Why don't you? Okay, you come sit here, Joanne.
Okay.
How you doing, Mom?
Bienvenido.
Doing wonderful.
Okay.
I'm
Get
back.
us all 3 in there.
Yeah.
You got to scoot in really tight here,
Get
Mom.
in tight. Okay.
Yeah, we get in tight.
Hello,
Okay.
everybody.
Ricardo, Matthew.
All right, so you're just talking to me. No big deal.
Oh, okay.
So, Mom, how are you enjoying your time? This is your 3rd time in Costa Rica, right?
Yeah, third or fourth.
Yeah, third or fourth. And have you seen any interesting or cute animals on this trip?
Yes.
What are your favorites?
My favorites are, of course, the little one with the big butt. His name is
That's the agoutis.
the agoutis.
And we were
the
so lucky.
Yeah.
We kept trying to see them from the house, and a mother came by with two or three little tiny ones, and they were so super cute, and they kind of they got closer to the house, to us, than I've ever seen them before, which was really nice. So that was great. We got a couple of pictures.
Yeah.
I got to get them up.
And of course the monkeys.
Is this weird that I'm
and the
behind?
squirrels.
No, it's not at all. You're filling up the frame perfectly, actually.
Yeah.
Yay, Suzanne.
good.
And then, what else have you seen? You saw
Well, we went whale watching.
Oh, I
and saw
forgot.
the whales.
That's right. We went whale watching yesterday.
Yesterday,
And we
yes.
saw so many whales.
We saw the mother with the little one,
Yeah,
and it was amazing.
yeah.
And that was really fun. Yeah,
Yay.
real fun.
And we always have a really nice whale watching season here. It's in the bay of the peninsula. And there must be a name of that bay.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's in between the peninsula and the mainland of Costa Rica. And every year at around this time, the humpback whales come to give birth or to raise the calves.
I'm not really.
One of those two. We're not experts on that. But it's great, and we saw, them come up and dive a few times, and got a couple of good. Oh, and
Well,
once
the tail
one of the young ones jumped out of the water, breached,
yeah.
and
right forward
right in front of us. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really great, really
Yeah.
great. And then
It was a lot of fun.
and you saw some of the white-faced monkeys down in Montezuma.
Yeah, saw the monkeys
Yeah.
and the red squirrels. They're beautiful
The most-
with the beautiful tail, and they were really gorgeous.
The most beautiful monkeys or the most beautiful squirrels in the world.
Yeah, they're
What
beautiful.
about butterflies?
Oh, and the butterflies here are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, seen all kinds of butterflies on all kinds of beautiful plants that are here on the farm.
Okay, now fruits. We've been trying to feed my mom some of the local fruits that are available that she might not get in the States. And two of them one is the guanabana,
Yes, yeah. Explain it again.
which is also known as the soursop. It's this big green
It's huge.
spiky things. And when it gets ripe, it's really soft.
But they're like soft spikes.
Soft spike, yeah, that's true. And inside it's like a lot of white flesh with some black seeds
Yeah,
inside.
but that's delicious.
Yeah, there was that one, and then we have this thing locally called mamonchinos, also called rambutan.
Rambutan?
Rambutan, yes. Which are
Are those hairy-looking
Yeah.
things?
these
Yeah.
red, hairy little fruits about that
Yeah.
big. They kind of look like the COVID virus, the drawing of a COVID
Yeah,
virus.
they do.
And anyway, you peel
delicious.
away the hairy
Yeah.
skin, and then you've got a nice fruit inside with a seed.
Yeah,
So,
that's delicious.
what's your favorite out of those two?
I like the great big.
Guanabana.
The guanabana.
Yeah, the guanabana. That was my favorite. It's
We also
just
gave
like.
her chermoya.
Oh.
And which one was that?
That was like the little tiny guanabana. Do you remember?
Oh yes.
And then the
yes.
annona. too.
Yeah.
We also
Annona.
had the
Yeah.
annona, which was more
Yeah.
custardy.
They're all
Yeah.
good, but I
Or no, it
think
was
my
only annona.
favorite is that great
Guanabana.
big one. Yeah.
Guanabana is number one. Honey, do you have any questions for my mom?
Well, so what else have you been doing? Did you do anything today?
Today?
Yeah.
Yes, I watched Ken's exercise class, and we went around the yard. Looking
Yeah.
at all the plants, and what am I forgetting?
And then what did we do in the fairy garden?
Oh, yes, we hung up the hummingbirds.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beautiful hummingbirds.
Tell
yeah.
us, honey, tell us about those hummingbirds.
So they're not exclusive to Costa Rica, but you do find them here in like our touristy areas. And there's like this one particular beautiful shop that we stop at every year, like on our way to Envision. Like, where is that area? Do you know? It's after Jaco. There's like that, like, I don't know, supermarket. And
Yes.
we charge the card there.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, they have.
Herradura.
Okay, so there's this beautiful store, and they have
Yes.
glass beaded everything and beautiful necklaces, and what it is I think it's like partially an advertisement for this sanctuary that they have that you can go and visit, and so it's like they are selling things also, but like they're drawing you into the store so that they can tell you about this beautiful sanctuary that they have. And so that's where I first saw these hummingbirds, and then since I've seen them here, then I see them everywhere, like in Mexico.
Yeah.
But whatever, they're really pretty and they're made out of glass beads, and so I've been collecting them, and the idea was to like put them in the fairy garden, have them in like different places, and so. For Ken's triathlon, we were in Punta Arenas, and we found a little kiosk that was selling them at a really good price, and so we got 3. And so I had Joanne place them with me today.
Right, and
So
that
that was
was
fun.
really fun. We matched them up with the flowers. There's so many different flowers.
Yeah, so that like you hang it up and you can
Yeah.
kind of see like part of the color of the flower, you know, and
It was really fun.
it's exciting.
Fantastic. We've had a great week. We've got another great week to go with my mom.
Yeah.
And
Looking forward to it.
thank you all for tuning in to Farm Talk Friday. You got anything else you want to say, Annie?
Yeah, if you're local, then hopefully we see you for Heart's celebration of life tomorrow.
That's right. Okay, for my wife, the most beautiful Giovanna, and for my mom, Joanne, I'm Ken Jordan. This is Farm Talk Friday. We'll see you next week.